Mr. Warrens.
Is that Mr.
It most certainly is. Hey, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I just got done mowing the yard, which you saw was a disaster, by the way, because you were just here a little while ago. Oh, hi,
Yes,
what's up, Birdie? I have birds hanging out with me now. They're very happy that the yard is mowed. But yeah, I'm here talking to you. We are, gosh,
we're less than a
you're,
week out.
yeah, I've got about 5 days and you've got even less than that.
Yeah.
So here we are. Resort food. We took a trip and we had a very amazing time at a really nice course that had a very, very nice clubhouse with some history. But holy pup, when you get
Oh,
that
yeah.
bill.
Yeah, it was, hey, look, it's resort living is not necessarily an expensive living. And if you happen to be in a resort that is a named resort, something that's rather, famous or infamous, I guess I should say, they're going to be drawing a little bit more dollars, not just for the round of golf, but for everything that goes around that round of golf, including the caddy shack, including the snack shack, including the pro shop, and dear God, if you want to get a imprinted shirt or golf ball or flag, you are going to pay through the roof for it. But with that being said, resort living and resort playing is something that you and I don't get a chance to do every day. And I think that's one of the reasons why you and I are looking forward to this trip that we are very quickly coming up onto.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is it's going to be resort living. I mean, obviously we're staying within the resort, we're staying within the
Mhm.
compound, if you will. But again, we're trying to immerse ourselves as much as we can into can. So
Yes.
it's not like we're going out and getting an $18 Bloody Mary,
No, 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 no.
or, hitting the steakhouse every night for dinner. So
No, no, no.
that's definitely something we've talked about. We don't want to have to take out a
Mhm.
mortgage to go on this trip for sure.
No. No, no. I think, some of my friends who have been watching and been following along, they've kind of asked the question, didn't they go set you back a little bit? And I said, yeah, maybe a little bit, but it's not going to be as bad as you think because we're not going to be eating every dinner out. That's not going to happen. I can assure you of that. We are going to be eating local produce. We're going to be eating from the farmers markets. We're going to be eating from the local grocery stores and do it for a whole lot less than if we were to go down to, I don't know, pick a steakhouse. It doesn't matter because they're going to charge more than what the steak is worth. And yeah, sure, they may have a white tablecloth on the old table there, but at the end of the day, we're still, it's still just food, at the end of the day. But
And we're totally going to do that at some point.
no, we are because, we'd be a fool not to, treat ourselves, for that time that we're out there and that we're going to make that happen. But the reality is that we're not going to be spending $100 a person on every meal. That's just not going to happen. In fact, I think you and I are of the same cloth when we're going to try to make $100 last an entire week. Not that I'm going to say that we're going to make that happen, but we're going to try. It's going to be a lot
I
of
will be doing a
salad.
lot of cooking,
No,
which I am
there's
looking forward to.
I I
Absolutely.
I am too. Hey, Joe, I've had several meals at your place and yeah, you've got a talent there. I will tell you, you have a talent and I'm very glad that you were coming along on the trip because if not, we wouldn't have I guess a camp cook, if you will.
Well, here's the question I get asked all the time is, we know that Bob's not from, like, the States anymore. How did he get his wife to agree to let him take a month and go on a golf trip? They know I'm a teacher,
Mhm.
so, like, they know how that works, but the question has been, how does your wife allow you to take this trip?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how I made that happen, and I don't know if it was because I took advantage of her at a time when she had maybe 1 or 2 drinks in her more than she should have. Maybe possibly I've asked the question when she was sleeping, but no, in all honesty, my wife has been very, very kind to me over the years and over the past several years. I haven't been playing a lot of golf. I've been taking care of and worrying about family issues and trying to get our lives, my wife's life and our life together, to be a little bit more cohesive as we move forward, simply because we had to deal with, a death in the family, dealing with my mother who has dementia and Alzheimer's. moving out of the country as well, all those life issues. And it's taken us, I don't want to say it's taken us long to ingrain, embed ourselves in the local community, but when Espanol is not necessarily my main language, there does become a little bit of a barrier. And we've
Gosh, I
been
hope you don't talk like that down there, really.
I mi habla español muy bien. No, it's not that good.
That's better. That's
It's
better.
actually
That was better.
horrible. It's actually horrible, but no, it's just trying to get, your life together and to where you feel like you can go out of the house and do some things. And we're now finally at that stage where we feel like we can actually leave the house and do a couple of things. And golf happens to be one of those. I had asked her, I said, "Hey, Joe and I have been talking about doing this trip for quite some time. Now at that point in my life where I can probably get away with doing a longer trip." So I flat out asked her, and surprisingly to my shock, she had said yes. And I mean, I'm here in South Central Pennsylvania. I've got my bags packed. I got my clubs in the corner over here, just waiting for the next flight to go out west. And to
It's
date,
happening.
my wife has not called me and said, "Psych." She has not done that yet. So unless that happens between now and a couple of days from now, I'm still going to be heading to the Palm Springs area to have a month-long golf outing, if you will. But no, she's been shockingly in favor of the trip. I think look, you and I
She
have
knows it has a purpose.
it has a purpose. And, you and we've spoken about our struggles with mental health and whatnot. I'm not saying it's a struggle, but a struggle in mental health. And, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get back into the game. And I think she realizes that. And she realizes that I need some time for myself to, I guess, get back to some normalcy in my life. And golf was a big, big part of that normalcy at one point in time. And then all of a sudden it's not there. And again, it's one of the three things. You got work, you got home. I don't know what that third thing is because I didn't have it when I left the US, and now I'm trying to find it again. So, hey, there you go. That's my wife is very kind. She's, very supportive of my wanting to have normalcy in life again. So she said yes. But there was a catch, and that was family vacation in the desert after we have our month in the desert. So yeah, there it is. So there will be some added extra cost for me after our trip, but no, I'm looking forward to it. My wife and I, we both enjoy living out there and having time out there. We've spent many, many vacations out there, and every time I go out, I've spoken to you about it, sent you 1,000 videos and pictures of everything, and now you and I finally get a chance to actually do it together in the desert and being able to enjoy everything that life has to offer for at least a month. So there you go.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's the back end story as to why my wife has allowed me to do this. Hey, look, it's no secret. I own a business or two, and I do have other folks that are. It's not that I have to go to the office every day. I don't. I do the vast majority of my work from afar, and it works well. And I'm in a different situation than the 99% of the population out there. And I get that, and I'm okay with it, to everybody, everybody's got their own piece of happiness that they need to find. And I found mine, fortunately. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep on plugging away with it. But that's really the gist of it. She knows that this is about regrouping, resetting my mental health, my mind, getting my overall attitude about my own life in line. And yeah, that's really what it's about. And I think you and I, when we had gotten together here this afternoon, you had mentioned that you're just looking for the mental reset, and I can appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, it's just getting, it's getting to the end of the school year and everyone's looking forward to time off in summertime and everyone knows things are winding down. So, it's just kind of that rush to finish things up and get everything done at the very end and rushing a little bit myself here, knowing that the trip's coming up and everything else. So you always feel like you're behind where you should be or you need to be. So over the next few days, things will start to fall in line. Hopefully some of those anxieties will go away. But yeah, for me, it's just, I am really looking forward to getting out there and visiting somewhere I've never been before, facing some anxieties myself and doing some firsts. I've never flown across country, never been to California. So this will be one of my longest flights or the longest flight I've taken. So just spending this much time away, being able to spend a full month away. Obviously, my job affords me the opportunity to do
Mm.
that. You and I have talked about some really cool things that we're going to be doing out there as well. That's going to help out with the golf team and some different things and some of our friends and it's going to be a really good time and I'm really looking forward to it and hoping that it's going to really be what we expect it to be and just a nice, relaxing, great time and enjoy some great golf and get both our games back into shape.
Oh, absolutely. I think when we first started this whole thing, we had said, okay, we want to have, again, it goes back to that trip that we did to Pinehurst and the drive home, and the
Mhm.
conversation on that drive home was the could-haves, would-haves, and should-haves, and boy, we wish we could do this for longer. And you know, by the time we get out of this, at the end of the month, who knows how we're going to feel about this? We may not like the fact that we did a month-long golf trip. I think some of the folks that are watching us and following along are
Think
probably
we're crazy already.
oh, they think we're nuts. And, I think in
We are. There's
some
truth
of
to that.
also gonna say I think of some of those folks are probably also a little envious of the fact that we're able to do it, and they may be looking at us and saying, "Okay, how are they gonna do that out there? Exactly how are they going to do that? And are they gonna remain friends at the end of the 30 days, or are they gonna hate each other at the end of 30 days?" So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kinda like going into the Big Brother house, except, well, we get to go out of the house and play golf. Yeah, I
Oh
went there. I
my.
went there. I did,
Phew.
absolutely.
Well, I've had the conversations with a few coworkers and
Mhm.
some different folks too as well to play, and the question always is, how are you guys, affording to do this?
Yeah.
And it goes back to really just it's the time that we're going, right? We're
Yeah.
going in part of their off season. There's a downside to going out there when we're going out there. The weather's
Oh, yeah.
not going to be great. We already know that. And that's fine because we're not looking to go out there and golf every single day. We're not jamming as
No.
many rounds into one day or a week as we can. You even said to me today, you said, gosh, we might be lucky if we play 2 full rounds
A
at the
week?
big courses
A week?
a week.
Yeah,
And I agree. I mean, and I
yeah.
would be absolutely fine with that. And then the other time we're probably hitting some of the, smaller executive courses or the ranges or some of those other places that we've talked about. So, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And I think that's the key, right? Like we can kind of pick and choose when we
Yes.
want to do certain things because we're not going to be golfing the entire time. So we can kind of afford to pick some days we want to go.
We're not under the gun to try to get as much golf in as we want. I mean, if we wanted to, we could, but,
Mhm.
I think eventually you're gonna get a burnout.
It
You
defeats
know,
the purpose of what we're
it
trying to do,
it
right?
it does, absolutely, and, we've all done the 3, 4, even a week-long golf trip, and you and I both know what it's like when you get done with those trips. You're exhausted, and you still
Mhm.
either have a drive or a fly home, and still gotta unpack, you still gotta get ready, and probably you're gonna go to work the next day, which means you're not gonna have enough sleep, probably, and you're gonna go to work kinda groggy and, maybe not on your best behavior either. I don't know. It's just, instead of us living in the locations that we both currently live in, we have chosen to pick our lives up, go to the desert, plop ourselves down for a month and live. Again, we're not eating every meal out. The vast majority of our meals are going to be inside the condo. I know that the grill is going to get a good workout. I know that the stove is going to get a good workout. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of salads, I'm sure, in my future,
Well,
which
even on the
which is
golf
great.
course,
Oh, absolutely. No, no, no. Even on the golf
what's your
course.
favorite? What's your go-to bag
Oh,
snack?
gosh, my go-to bag snack on the golf course, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be chocolate. There's gonna be chocolate
Okay.
involved because I need it. That's just the way it is. After I'm done 9 holes, I like to normally, it's a Kit Kat bar that I like to inhale as quickly as possible, and douse it down with some electrolytes as quickly as possible, and try to get that, that strength and energy back up for the second half as you're going back out, but snack bags could be anything. I've done everything from those little peanut butter jelly sandwiches that, you can get that are prepackaged and everything, which by the way, those
Absolutely.
those things are actually pretty good. Don't
Oh,
knock them.
absolutely.
Don't knock them. They're
No.
actually pretty
Mm-mm.
good. Bananas are always good for me as well. I like having the potassium in me. Gosh,
Jerky.
beef jerky is good. Having a couple of nuts is good too because the salt
Yeah.
intake kind of helps with the your system as well. So, I go kind of all over the board. But if you're gonna catch me when I was playing golf regularly years ago, more than likely it would have been a Kit Kat bar in my bag, along with a couple of electrolytes and some water, and yeah, that's normally what it is. That's normally what it is. So what type of on-course snack do you like, Joe?
I like jerky. Jerky's a big one for me. Big protein guy. Do like
Mhm,
nuts,
mhm,
pistachios and all those good fun things. Delicious.
mhm.
I do agree. You need some salt while you're out there, especially if you're
Yeah,
walking.
yeah.
For sure. You need to be able to watch that and get those electrolytes in there. So that's a great choice. Yeah. Those sandwiches, like you said, are great to have depending on the venue. If you trust some of the food at some of the places, there's always some good things inside at the turn.
Or
But
if you
yeah,
like
yeah. I mean,
I was gonna say even if
crackers
you're
is a great one.
yeah, crackers are good. I was gonna say even if you're lucky enough that there's a snack cart running around on the golf course, hey, look, everybody, we've all had hot dogs off of those carts. We've all had the slop burgers off of those things, but no, it's typically overpriced and it's really not that good. So for myself, I like to just wait to eat until I get home, to be quite honest. And
Yeah.
and I
Just
think
have a
that's what
couple things to tie us over through the round and then
that's really what it is. And it's going to be get up in the morning or mid-afternoon whenever we decide to get
yeah.
up, throw some eggs on the grill and kind of ingest that and then start our day. And typically it'll, we'll be home and having dinner before it gets dark, or at least I would
Mhm.
assume so. So,
Right. And I don't want it to sound like we're coming off as cheap at all, but we're
oh
going to
no, no,
spend
no.
plenty of money at these places.
Oh no, we certainly
But,
are.
there's certain things, there's just certain things we're gonna do to save money along the way for sure.
And food is that number one thing that you can save a lot of money on, and it's simply
Yeah.
because you're not gonna be eating at the restaurants, you're not gonna be eating inside the confines of the gates of whatever golf course community that you're in. Not to say that there's not some really good restaurants that are outside the gates. It's not to say that there's really good restaurants that are inexpensive, because there are. There's some really good eats out that way. And one place I want to take you is into Indio, because I want to hunt down and find the perfect taco truck. That's truly what I want to do. And
Done.
and
I'm sold.
and and we're doing it. So because
Done.
tacos are relatively inexpensive, and in Indio, it's a lot of
Mm.
tacos, a lot of tacos in India. So I am looking forward to that as well. But
We can try every single one of them. I'm down. Let's do it.
hey, I am too, to be quite honest with you. And my stomach, maybe not so much, but yeah, myself, I'm kind of looking forward to it, trying to relive some of my younger days when I could, get down a party pack of tacos from Taco Bell.
Well, there's one more big question that
Mhm.
I've gotten. I don't know about you, but the other big question I've gotten is, well, you guys are going out as a twosome.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about potentially getting paired up at some of these places with a random pairing?
No, it's gonna be the same as it always is, Joe. It's gonna be you and I are gonna walk up to the tee box, introduce ourselves, shake some hands, top some drives, and off to the races we are. It's not
We
gonna
will
change.
fix your driver.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Gosh.
Hey, look, I'm not too concerned, to be honest with you. I'm joking around about it, so think about that. That's a start. That's a start for me.
Ugh.
But no, in all honesty, we've been paired with a whole bunch of different people over the years. People that we liked, people that we didn't care for, people that I just simply, after I got done hitting a shot, I get into the golf cart and Joe, I'm not talking to these people for the rest of the day round. I refuse to say a single word with these people. So
Uh,
we have had our fair share of different personalities over the years,
mhm.
and I don't think anything can shock you or I anymore. And you
No,
know,
and I think the big thing too out of it is we'll golf with anybody.
we will. Look, I like playing golf with people that are much, much better than me, because it makes me
Yeah.
try to improve my game. I enjoy playing with people who are just learning the game because it takes me back to when I first started learning the game
We've all been there.
and realizing the excitement. When you see somebody who's relatively new and they hit that, that's what I want. That's what I want to have every time I hit the ball. I want that. So it's, playing with those folks, you get to be reminded as to why you started playing the game to begin with. So no, for me, I look, I don't care if we get paired with local, residents of the PGA West. I don't care if we get paired up with juniors that are there, for summer vacation. I don't care who we get paired up with. We're going to have a good time regardless. And we're going to do what we want to do on the golf course. We're going to play our game. Again, at the end of the day, you and I have played better ball matches, with ourselves while we're playing with two other people and they're looking at you like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? We're playing better ball.
And we've also picked up in front of people as well. Like,
Yes, we have.
we've been there. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and it's no different than anywhere else. It's just going to your local club and going as a ones, as by yourself or with a friend and being paired up with a random guy or girl or two, and off you go.
Yeah.
You either get to know one another really, really well, or you don't. It's one of the two. It's just how it is.
You get to share stories. I think
Yeah.
that's the best part.
Yeah.
And for you and me, we're both people
Mhm.
and love meeting people and hearing stories. So for us, I think that'll be huge and we'll enjoy that. So might cut
Absolutely.
into our filming a little bit, but we'll enjoy it. We'll have a good time.
No, we'll have fun. And another thing that, that you and I need to realize that if we do get paired up with some folks, let's hope that they're locals because some of these courses that I haven't played, they're going to have some local
Yeah.
knowledge that I don't have. I mean, when it comes to the courses at PGA West, I have enough experience on there that I know the trouble spots. I know where you don't want to be. I know all of that and I can help you through that. And which is where I finally get to become the caddy instead of, the caddy master. But, I'll be able to point out some of those things at those courses. But at some of the other places that I've never gone to, I really hope that we're paired with that senior who has been there for the past 20 years and knows the golf course like the palm of his hand.
He has had a golf ball at every position on every
Yes.
hole and knows every
Yes.
single shot. Give me that guy every day. That is
It-
absolutely. Hey, you and I have both played some very good golf and we've also
Mhm.
played some very bad golf fast.
Yeah.
So, hey, as long as everyone's keeping up and keeping pace up,
That's all that
you
matters.
can ask for. And
Yeah.
as long as everyone's having a good time, then hey, it
All
is
the
what it is
merrier.
and enjoy it.
That's right. All the merrier it is. But no, I'm looking forward to getting paired up with whomever we get paired up with. If we don't get paired up with anyone, which I think is probably going to be more apt to happen because it's June.
We're playing at some weird times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're playing. We're going at a weird time, but there will be people there. It's not like the golf course is going to be empty. I know that. It's just that it's not like it's not the snowbird time of the year, if you know what I'm getting at. So, but no, hey, we've got, gosh, Joe, we're kind of under the gun here. We have less than a week. I know one of the issues that I ran into as I was getting myself ready and flew up from Central America. One, I have a bag limitation. That I have a limitation on bags, which we both have limitations on bags on the domestic side as well. So our golf clubs, and I think you're choosing to do the same thing I am, and that is to
Yeah.
take the golf clubs, have the airline take them with you, so that your golf clubs is one bag. That's one bag. Your second big bag that you're going to check is going to have everything else in it. I'm going to assume that a checked bag will probably have all of the, the podcasting stuff in it, that we're doing. And then you're going to have a personal bag as well. So I will tell you that I am now in that position because I had ordered golf balls from Titleist because, well, that's just who I prefer, Titleist golf balls.
That's what you've
Hence-
always done.
That's the reason why I wear the hat. But I've always done Titleist golf balls. I prefer a particular number. I like number 52. It goes back to when I was a much younger individual. That was my number that I wore, was 52. So anyway, I have 4 dozen of those balls sitting on my office desk here in South Central Pennsylvania. And I realized today as I was in the office looking at them, And I said to myself, where are you going to put these 4 dozen golf balls in your bags that are already overstuffed? And as the ticket counter agent told me as I was checking my bag coming up here, sir, your golf clubs are overweight. I'm allowed 23. I think it was 23 kilos and I was at 24.5. So, but I am carrying a few extra clubs simply because I need to have some work done. And while we're out there, I might as well have it done while I'm out there because where I'm at, I'm not trusting anybody to do anything with my golf
You
clubs.
can't
It's
get
not
any
going to
work done
happen.
right down there,
It's
yeah.
just not going to happen. So this is the only opportunity I'm going to have. So I might as well take full advantage of it and get all my clubs regripped because I failed to pack my regripping crap when I moved down there. And yeah, it just is what it is. So, but I guess my question to you is now keep in mind, I'm going there for 2 months. And I still only had
Yeah.
one checked bag and one carry-on and one personal bag for 2 months worth of living.
Mhm.
So I know where I'm at. What's your packing situation like? Have you ran into the stressors of, oh God, where am I going to put everything? Or are you one of the are you more of a minimalist? Say that one fast. You
You're
know
getting
what
there,
I'm,
keep going.
men, a me-
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
minimalist,
You're almost there.
oh,
There it
you
is.
know what I wanted to say, and so did everybody else. If you happen to be one of those people that like to think small, are you worried about how much space you have in the luggage? I guess that's really what the big question is.
So far, I've done very minimal packing, which you saw. I have pants and shorts packed.
That's good.
That's about it so far.
I'm
But I
very
am
happy.
planning on taking the clubs. I'm planning on taking the clubs with me. So I just feel like at this point it's just gonna be the easier play. So I'm gonna take them with me. That way they're checked. So and then I'm gonna try to get away with my carry-on and my personal items. So I think I should be able to make everything work. We have the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on just kind of bringing, week and a half's worth of stuff and then just kind of watching along the way. So
Honestly, that's not a bad game plan. I've done that before myself. It's just unfortunately with the family vacation aspect of it on the tail end for me, I
yeah.
have a lot more clothes than what I was really wanting to bring to begin with. But if I didn't have it or didn't pack it, I'm going to wish that I did. So instead of buying new, I just decided to go ahead and pack up whatever I had. But no, I'm glad to hear that you're not too concerned about the whole packing situation. For myself, I was stressed out about it oh God, at least for the past month anyway, trying to figure out how am I going to get all this stuff there? And you think you got it all figured out, and no, I don't. So it just is what it is. But anywho, let's see
So
what other stressors do you have?
no, just the last minute things. I mean, I'm just kind of getting everything tidied up and taken care of at home and that stuff squared away. And,
Good.
all the big things are done, obviously. It's just kind of those last minute things that
Yeah.
kind of pop up that you got to throw together quick. Just finishing that stuff up. And yeah, I'm flying out like I said, a couple days after you are. School ends. I have one more day and teachers will be done. And then I'll be heading out to see you. So,
Perfect.
it's just the last minute jitters,
Yeah.
like you
No,
said, making sure you
I,
have everything. I keep telling myself, I'm really not packing a lot. I feel, I'm going to get a small toothpaste and a travel brush while I'm out there or
yeah.
disposable razor. Like I'm not going to take a ton of stuff out with me. There's no sense when I can just
Well,
pick up a couple things while we're there.
that's the whole thing, and it's not like you're going into a place that has no shopping. It's very it's a populated area. It's a resort town, and yeah, there's plenty of shopping. I can assure you, from the extremely high end to the very low end, and a whole bunch of
Right.
in between. So you'll be able to find anything you need there, and that's one of the other things when I do my packing is I really need to realize that I don't need to pack as much, that I could get away with packing a whole lot less, but then I'd have to spend some time going out to the store and picking some stuff up. But with us being there for a month, it's not like we're not going to go to a store. We're definitely going to a store.
Right.
I know when I get there, the first thing I'm doing is hitting Sam's Club and Costco for water. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure we got water inside the condo. I'll pick up, provisions, a couple of small provisions, but I have no idea what you're wanting to put on the menu. So I'll wait for the big shopping trip until after you get there, and then we'll figure it out from there.
I can't wait. Man, I mean, at this point, like I said, we're down to the last couple days. I'm
Yeah.
excited. It's those jitters, it's the excitement, it's the nervousness, it's all the feelings, all the things.
It's all of that, and then also still feeling like you're a little kid, going on your first family vacation, and,
Oh my gosh, I
that's
can't stinking wait.
that's really what it boils down to. It's the, "Are we there yet?" You know, I started doing the,
Mhm.
"Am I there yet?" about last week is when I started doing it. Mentally, I've been there for 2 months. I'm definitely been there for 2 months mentally.
My coworker across the hall, is a big golfer.
Mhm.
Her family's big in golf, and I keep saying, "In this time in 4 days, this time in 5 days, I'll
You'll
be
f
on the plane landing in Frisco."
Mhm. Yep. Exactly.
She's like, "Ugh, I can't wait."
Well, hopefully she's following along. Hopefully she's a subscriber. And if not, you too should subscribe and hit a like button, drop a comment, share us. And yeah, we'll be more than happy to communicate with you if you wanted to do that. Hint, hint to
Those
those
of you
who
that
are
have been
still
out there,
following.
those of you that live out there,
Yes,
let us know what's
absolutely.
going on. Let us know where to go. Any of the places you guys have liked or enjoyed.
And better yet, if anyone out there is going to be out there and is looking for a third and or fourth, let us know.
Absolutely.
Let us know. We'll be more than happy to play along. So, but Joseph, it is crunch time. I am like a little school kid here. I am looking forward to the drive getting to the airport. I am looking more forward to landing and getting the rental car and getting into the condo and getting settled in. You know, it's that with the ADHD that I have, it's always that I'm thinking about the next thing, I'm always thinking about that next thing that I'm looking forward to. And that's another thing that I want to try to do when I'm out there is try to live in the present and not look towards the future because I think I spent
Take some time to slow down.
I think I've spent too many years of my life living for the future and planning for the future and not living in the here and now. And I just need to be more present. So hopefully I can make that happen. And yeah, it's about working on myself this month is really what it's going to be about. And speaking of which, we've had a wonderful conversation with someone that we had reached out to, and happy to announce that we're going to have our very first guest while we're
Yeah.
actually in La Quinta. We're going to have this individual come on, and we think that he's got a really good story to tell, and he's doing a lot to help some folks out, and we think we like what he's doing, and we think
It speaks for itself. We don't want to give
it,
too
it
much away. It
it
speaks for
does.
itself.
It
It's
really
it's
does.
exciting.
It's exciting, and I'm looking forward to having that conversation with him. So hopefully, here within the next 1 or 2 weeks, we'll be able to get together with him and get him on the air as well. I know we're excited about trying to film some of the content that we're going to be doing. We want to film as much golf as we possibly can. And we're going to try to do that. However, I don't know how
With
much
some
of it.
patience.
Yeah, it is. It's all about patience. It's all about, making sure that we can take the data and getting it uploaded to where it needs to go. And that's all above my head, Joseph. I know nothing about it. You're the techie behind all of that. And as long as you tell me, yeah, we can do it. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. But
We'll be
I
fine. We can do it.
we'll be fine. We can do it. And what I would like to do, Joe, is maybe possibly go live. We'll have to see what our cell situation is like and mobile situation is like when we're out there. I would not mind going live for a couple of holes and
Yeah, for sure.
letting some people see how bad it truly is with our game.
Two random,
Two
terrible
random
golfers
guys.
that for some reason they want to watch play golf.
And hey, if that's what you want to do, I'm
Says
I'm down for
says
it,
the golf coach. Yeah, yeah, I'm terrible golf.
Well, here's the whole thing. Let's take a look at what the definition of terrible is and what you think it is, because I will tell you that
Ooh,
regardless
that's
of
been great. That is a good question that's been going around.
and I will also say, regardless of what you think in terms of what is terrible for you, I can assure you that I can point to a whole bunch of other golfers that are out there and show you that you are probably a whole lot better than what they are. I mean, seriously, think about this when they talk about the stats
No,
of
absolutely.
the average golfer, The average golfer, the number of average golfers who can break 100, number of average golfers that can break 90, and then the hard one yet is to break 80. Not every golfer can break 80. I know a few golfers that can break par, shoot under par. And that's, I'm talking just a handful that are in this hand.
Absolutely.
It's not like it's a whole lot of them out there that you and I personally know. It's literally just a handful of folks that I know that can go low in a score on any random day. But for the most part, you and I are playing with people like you and I who are somewhere between triple digits and 80. That's really where we're at. And that's
Absolutely.
that's respectable. And again, it's respectable because A, we all have jobs. We're not getting paid to play this game by any way, shape, or form. And if we are, maybe I'm doing it all wrong and I should just quit what I'm doing on the other end. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is, we don't have a whole lot of time every day to spend to work on our games. And we ought to be just happy that we're able to get out onto the golf course. And oh my God, I can't believe I'm just saying this. We should
Gosh,
just be
you're old.
happy. We should just be happy that we have gotten that we're able to get onto the golf course. I'm not saying this as an old person either.
No,
I'm just saying
absolutely.
this.
No.
Truly,
Absolutely.
we should just be thankful for the fact that you and I are afforded the opportunity to be able to go onto a golf course, regardless of how well we play it or not, but to be able to enjoy the day, to be able to enjoy our company and friendship, to be able to enjoy our camaraderie, to be able to enjoy the architecture of the golf course, the thrill of just being out there and with wild. I mean, you're going to see birds and wildlife that you haven't seen before. You're going to see your very first roadrunner. I guarantee you will, because I'm going to take you to a place where I know they're going to be at. So, it's seriously on every time. I mean, even when I'm at home back in Central America, I will tell you that I don't know what I enjoy more about that particular golf course. I don't know if it's the fact that A, I'm just out there. B, the fact that the golf course is well taken care of. It is truly PGA Tour quality, ready to be played. Okay, truly. They got to do something with the greens to get them a little bit more faster than rolling at a stiff 10. But anyway, and that's slow. You know that too. That's quite slow.
It's a little humid down there. It's a little,
But it just is what it is. But I'm enjoying it because of the nature aspect, the beauty of just pure nature, the beauty of the architecture of the golf course. And dear God, if they can mow straight lines and you're just out there as they got done mowing the fairways, dude, that's beautiful when you see your ball laying out there in the middle of the fairway. And the other aspect is the wildlife, the number of birds that I see that I've never seen before in my life. We have caiman on the golf course. Yeah, we have those types of things on the golf course too. And I have not ran into that hazard yet. I have seen the hazard, but I have not ran into it personally. But no, it's just like even at Royal Manchester, where you and I had first met. God, there were deer on the golf course, turkeys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of that, foxes. And you and I have seen an awful lot of wildlife out there. And to know that it's just on a golf course and it's just wonderful. That's really truly the reason why I think that you and I are just fortunate that we're able to do that. Now,
and that right there just sums up the entire trip. Right. That's the entire point, the entire purpose. If I was going to sum the trip up in anything, that's it 100% right there. Right. It's really about going out and slowing down and just being able to enjoy everything around us.
Just slow down, smell the roses, feel the breeze in your hair. It's this again, this is a reset for myself that I desperately need. And I think you need one as well. We've both spoken about it and we're in agreement. We both need this. We both have gone through some stuff and, no, everybody needs to have a reset. Everybody needs to have time to themselves to, I'm not going to say figure things out, but to have less stress. And I think this is going to be less stressful. Although we're playing golf and we're probably going to give the old, Bob, you could have done a better shot than that. At least that's what I'm going to be saying to myself. But, but that's a different type of worrisome than, what you and I have to deal with on a everyday basis. I just want to not have to worry about those things, and we're going to make it happen. And I'm
Absolutely.
so looking forward to it. So looking forward to it. But what episode is this? Is this episode 11 or 12?
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. I can't even keep track.
I'm not sure if we're on 11 or 12, but I will tell you that we have been doing this consistently enough that we've been able to hold each other responsible for keeping this up.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with the fact that we've been able to do that because in all honesty, I didn't think we were going to get past 2 episodes. Truly, I didn't think we would.
No. And we haven't been as consistent as we want it to be.
Well, that's simply
But
because life is happening and we're running up against the wall
absolutely.
here before we have to leave. And both you and I have had a lot of things at work, your work and my work, that we have had to deal with. And those things are a little bit more important than
Oh, yeah.
sitting in front of a computer with a microphone, and putting some thoughts out there for people to listen to. But anyway, we are at the end of our worrisome for our regular lives. We are quickly running up to the finish line of that. I know your last
Mm.
day of actual kids in class is tomorrow. I believe your last
Yep.
physical day at work is Monday. I know I will see you on
Yes.
Tuesday. I'm picking you up at the airport.
Mhm.
And then we're going to do what normal people do, and that is crash after I pick you up from the airport.
This is episode 11. This is
Fantastic.
Golf with Wilson and Warrens. You can find us on all the socials at W&W Golf. Yeah, we're going to try to go live. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I want to be on the airplane tomorrow and
Agreed.
just get the travel aspect over and done with. I want to get the travel aspect done. I want to be able to take everything out of my bags and hang it into a closet. That's really all I want to do. Which, by the way, the last couple of golf trips that you and I have done, we never even unpacked. We were just
No.
literally living out of a suitcase. And that's not really fun to me.
No,
It's not
we're
fun.
not going to do that. We're going to unpack this time. We're
Oh,
going
we
to have a
have
great
to.
time.
Yeah.
And most importantly, as you always say,
we're going to keep
hopefully,
we're going to keep it in the short grass. I can assure you of that. Gosh, Joseph, I think we are coming up to the end of this particular episode, and I guess the next time I see you will be at the airport, and I'm just trying to figure out if I want to hold a sign that says "Welcome home from prison, Joe," and just wait there for you. I just want to. I've never done that before, and
it's
I'm
fine.
thinking this might
It's
be
fine.
the time I actually pull out one of those
Sounds like a great
signs
time.
and just have one single balloon hanging from the sign. I won't do that. I'm not
And
going to.
this is why we should have flew together.
That's right. Exactly. But anyway, no, hey, Joe, it's going to be an exciting time. I'm looking forward to it. I hope everybody else who has been following along for as long as they have through this,
Absolutely. We're so excited.
hopefully they get a little bit of enjoyment out of this as well. We're going to try to film as many rounds of golf as we possibly can. I know that we're going to be doing, we've got this month long, bet that we've got going on and
wager,
and then we've got the
gentlemanly wager,
the weekly tournament that we're going to be doing
Yes.
at the par 3 at the executive course there at the Lights of Indio, and I'm looking forward to us being able to find a ridiculous putter that both you and I can agree that we would never use in any way, shape, or form. And then the loser of the weekly bet has to play with that at the Lights at Indio on the weekly tournament. Yeah, that's right.
I have no idea what this thing is going to look like, but
Me
I just
neither.
know it's going to be hideous, and I don't want to use it at all, ever.
It's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. I'm telling you. I know it's going to be horrible.
Goodness gracious.
Hey, I will. That's my wife. Wife's calling me right now. Hey,
See?
it's time. We've got to end it.
Check 'em
Hey,
in.
Joseph, it was good seeing you, my friend. Episode 11 comes to an end. And to everybody out there, hey, just keep it in the short grass. Until next week, have fun.